Psychic Mediumship Course. All right. The first thing to know about this training is that I know for a fact, it is a 100% myth that only certain people have this ability. When we talk about psychic, mediumistic, and empathic abilities, every single person on earth has this to some degree. It is true that some people have it to a heightened degree. It is true that it can get triggered by things like, trauma or having a disability or being abled. It can also come through the bloodline, and there are certain cultures that feed it more. So that is true, but everybody does have it. So when people try to tell you that you have to be born with it, yeah, everybody's born with it, all right? That's a given, or we'd be dead, because we use our psychic ability, at the very least, every single day, throughout the day, to stay alive. That's what your gut instinct is. When your gut tells you, when that voice in your head, okay, when that part of yourself, your higher self, tells you intuitively to do something, and it defies maybe your feelings or it defies logic, that's psychic ability in itself. And sometimes it's not even psychic ability. It's coming from a spirit. You're picking up on it empathically. So we all have it. And that is the foundational belief here at the Ivy League Psychic Academy, is that anybody can and should be tapping into their intuitive intelligence. And what I'm really training you to do is remove the blocks from being able to do that. All right. So how are we different? So the Psychic Mediumship course is different in many ways. I'm going to talk just about a couple different ways here today. So first of all, I'm actually giving you the tools. I'm actually telling you the secrets, because I'm not afraid of competition. I don't believe that there's competition in light work. So whereas other schools internationally will not tell you how to do this for real, they don't want to see you go out there and practice this professionally. I'm more than happy to tell you how to practice it, and I let the universe handle the rest from there. So if you don't have pure intentions, if you're just out there to make money, if you're out there to outrank me in some Google algorithm, I really don't care. That is not my business. I am here to teach you how this actually works. That's it. I don't worry about it from there. I understand that raising up the competition in business is not the way to go. Okay. Most people doing well in business and in finance and whatnot, would not approve of this system. But here at the Academy, we believe that it's light work first, business second. So again, you're going to come here and you're going to learn how to actually be a professional psychic medium, if that's what you choose to do. You may also want to come in here to learn how to handle your supposed disabilities, or maybe you are other abled. Maybe it helps you to deal with your trauma, your anxiety, your depression by learning these skills. That is absolutely going to be part of the benefits of this curriculum. Or maybe you just have loved ones on the other side who've passed away that you want to be better at communicating with. Maybe you just want to learn how to do this for your own self, and your family and friends, to be more accurate in your predictions. All of that is welcome here, and you will be getting the tools to take this out on your own in record time. So here's another thing. Whether other schools around the world don't understand how this works, which is possible. Many of them seem to not have any clue. When my training came out, it blew away other trainings, because these other teachers seem to be pulling their curriculum from an old dusty dinosaur bag of tricks, which tells me that maybe they're not holding and hiding the information about how this actually works as much as they don't know how this actually works. So everything that I teach you came directly from spirit, was shown to me over the course of my entire life. They started sending me to doctors when I was 5 years old to figure out why I was going in and out of trance states, what was wrong with me. That went on into my 30s until I stopped and I figured it all out on my own. So I don't teach anything that spirit has not shown me directly, and I was never trained anywhere else. All right. So that's another big difference. Now, you guys are also going to find, this is the big difference, okay, in the second area here, that this is going to help you stabilize, whether you've gone through trauma, you have disabilities, or you're other abled, if you have disorders, whether you're misdiagnosed with these disorders or you actually have these disorders. I'm not here to prescribe or diagnose tonight, okay, or ever. But these three areas, disabilities, trauma, and disorders, I have found over the years, amazingly, that my students who came in to learn psychic mediumship have been able to come off of meds that they've been on for 15 plus years. They said that after 25 years of therapy, being in my class for 2 to 3 months helped them far more than all of that therapy ever did. People who struggle, with self-regulation are going to come out and be capable of not only stabilizing themselves, but even helping to stabilize others through this knowledge. And so what we're really doing here is we're getting to the root, okay? We're getting to the root cause. A medication isn't going to fix that. Behavioral modification isn't going to fix that. And, ending up like a hamster on a wheel in your life, if that's something that has kept you in the system of dysfunction, this may be an area where you want to look, because you're going to learn at the root where the energy is coming from and how to manage that energy and how to utilize that energy, not just for yourself, but also ultimately for others. All right. So when we talk about trauma here through the Psychic Mediumship course, we're really talking about many different things, but just a few. OCD, self-regulation, PTSD. When we talk about disabilities, or I like to say, other abilities, this even helps people with Tourette's, schizophrenia. A lot of my students are deaf, or they're blind, or they deal with, some pretty big, areas where they have other abilities, I like to say, because when you have something like that going on, you automatically tap into different intelligences in order to get through life. So those may be some of my strongest students because they're already in tuned, all right, to these other senses. When we talk about disorders or being misdiagnosed with disorders, again, there are, a lot of things this helps with, but often in the forefront here, we see bipolar, anxiety disorders, especially social anxiety. All right. So a couple different areas where this curriculum is going to help you. And when I designed it, I did not set out for that to be the purpose. That has been a blessing side effect, and it's quite astonishing. I just want to know a big difference here. At the Ivy League Psychic Academy, I train doctors, I train therapists, I train educators, I train parents. They know to come here to find out where it's really at, and they try to bring that into their clinical practices where they're failing. So there's a lot going on here, more than meets the eye. I would also say the third area where we're very different from other trainings internationally is that my PEC method, the Psychology of Energy Communication method, is a non-passive method. So the old school trainings are very pacifistic. They're very like wait and meditate for 5 years and see if you receive a message or a symbol. And when you do, maybe you still don't even know what the heck it means or how to accurately read it, but at least you got something. And then you go through their testing process, and maybe you get certified and maybe you don't after 5 years and $8,000. And it's just very, very passive. That's not how I run things here. So if you watch anything that I do, I don't do anything passively. Everything in the universe requires your involvement, and spirit loves your engagement with the communication, as does your psychic ability, as does empathic ability. So the universe really responds to that in a very different way. And it almost makes it so that you're only showing up. You're only bringing yourself and your energy and your willingness to the table. You're saying, I'm willing to be of service. And the universe takes it from there. All right. So a completely different method. And I would just throw in with that my main focus in training my students, because this is how Spirit said it was meant to be always, is in unblocking. So whether we're talking about capitalism, we're talking about the patriarchy, we're talking about, what's the word I'm looking for? You know, we're talking about the breakdown of humanitarianism. You know, we're talking about colonization. We're talking about all these toxic systems that aren't just in America, you know, they're everywhere. Those are the blocks. Those are the issues. At the root of intuition, we need to be in the flow to receive it. We need to be in the right side of the brain to receive it. And it's always there. But through these toxic systems, we've learned to block, or else we were going to be punished, whether the church is going to punish you because it's evil, okay? Or in colonization, you had to fit within the church system or else, okay? Especially as slaves, we were going to be punished for that. Or it's the education system, all right, which is church and government run so much of the time. You aren't allowed to even speak of your imaginary friend as a child, or talk about the supernatural, or talk about spirits and ghosts and monsters in your room. You can't even do that with your parents, because you're told that that's crazy talk, that it's bad and negative, and that you're going to be sent off to the doctor if you do so. So we've also got, you know, our medical systems, right? Our healing systems. All of these blocks to actually being who you are and tapping into the true power of your intuitive intelligence and the universe and the way the universe is trying to communicate with you. This is what I focus on. Whereas other trainings are more focused on teaching you some old dusty, crusty bag of trick nonsense and spells and magical thinking. And it's just kind of ridiculous, honestly. God bless them. Okay. I would also say check and make sure that wherever you're getting your training, make sure they didn't come here first. Because every day I see more and more of my curriculum being thieved around the world. So ask your lightworking guru teacher, you know, where did you train? Where did you learn all this? Because I guarantee a good majority of them got it from here first. All right. So come for the real deal. Let's talk real quick, and then I am going to take your questions as quickly as I can. Again, at 8:30, we're going to be logging off, and I'm going to be starting over for the Ask Ivy show, where I take your personal questions, and I deliver out messages from Spirit. That is a separate show, okay? This is just a Q&A on the Psychic Mediumship course. So we start January 23rd. It runs 28 weeks, but you do not have to join with a group. That's when the new group starts. I typically have, you know, anywhere from 2 to 4 groups running simultaneously. But if you don't want to join with a group, if you just want to do your own thing, you're still going to have the assistant teachers involved in your training. I'm involved in your training. It's no different than the group. It's just some people prefer to be moving along in a little bit of a more organized system. But this is adult learning. So whether you join with the group or not, you are able to take these classes at your own pace, post your homework at your own pace. You have 2 different tiers to learning. So tier 1 is a 10-week video download course. This is not going to be like tier 2, where you have hands-on practice with me through live Q&As. You have access to the assistant teachers at the academy here helping you. You won't have access to the guinea pig system, our volunteer system, where you're giving readings to the public. You won't have access to things like our monthly walk-in nights, our psychic fairs. You don't have the option to get certified and become a teacher here at the academy or an Ivy League reader and be hired out. Okay, but with tier 1, the 10-week video download course, you are going to get a lot of the basics and at least be able to get your feet wet and see if this is something you're ready to take more seriously. Okay. Then we have tier 2. Again, it's a 28-week course. You go at your own pace. It involves all kinds of extra, not extra classes, but they're like required classes that I've been offering to the public for like over 10 years that you may have even taken already. And that's empathic awareness, coffee with your angels, hauntings, clearings, and detachments, meet your guides, past lives, karma and contracts, relationships, boundaries, and cord cutting class. I may be forgetting maybe one. I don't think so. Okay, so all of those are included in your curriculum. And then again, with tier 2, you know, you have access to all of the things that I just mentioned aren't available with tier 1. And if you get certified, you will be, you know, able to have lifelong work opportunities. So like I just passed one of the gigs on that's, you know, somebody asked me to do, oh, can you come out to the Finger Lakes and do this, you know, this bachelorette party, you know, it's going to be a big deal. Well, I had to pass that on to one of my graduates because I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to be touring over there when they need it. So you're up for hire on those types of gigs. We have Ivy's Healing Call Center, open 7 days a week. We are working up to 24 hours. So we work internationally. You can work the call center. You can also be up for hire for Ivy League psychic fairs, where different, you know, companies or private parties, or now we're doing a lot with the animals. So we have like some adopt-a-thons and Furtastic, I don't know, SPCA adventures and whatnot. You know, sometimes they want to bring in a whole Ivy League psychic fair. So I would be able to pull you in for those types of gigs. And if you want to become a teacher with Ivy League Psychic Academy, once you're certified, you are also up for that. I have opened up a weekly payment plan due to the recession. So I don't know if any of you posted questions on that. That's usually the first question that I get is like, well, how do the payment plans work? It used to be, I think it was like maybe you had to pay 3 or 4 months, like a chunk or something. That's an option, or you can pay in full, but you can also pay weekly just because of the sort of predicament, you know, we're in here, especially here in America at the moment. All right, so that is an option. Do we have any questions coming in? Mary, my adorable producer, can pop those up if we do. Okay, so we have one from Jeanette C on TikTok. How much does the course cost? I believe it's around $2,100, $2,200 for tier 2. The tier 1, I'm not really sure. So what you guys are going to do is go to psychicmediumshipcourse.com. And you can also go to IvyRiveraPsychicMedium.com. Okay, so psychicmediumshipcourse.com is going to show you the breakdown of both tiers. It's going to show you the financial, you know, the payment plans. I think it also shows you a bit more information on what each week may look like. Okay, I'm not sure. I haven't been on there in a little while, but I know that it was recently updated. All right, do we have any more questions coming in here? From an Ash Spear, also on TikTok. How much guidance do we receive each week? Is it just a video and then practicing what was discussed? Well, I wouldn't say that it's just a video. It's a video that I spent the last, you know, 40 some odd years of my life designing. And so it's information you don't need me to sit there and tell you, because I could just tell you over a video. And then you have homework assignments, and then you have work with the public, and then you have work with your assistant teachers. And then there, you know, it's largely exercise based. So it's not just a video. Okay, we have any other questions? All right, Tina's House of Healing on TikTok. May I learn at my timing? Yes. So again, with this system of adult learning, you are able to, if you join with the group, okay, like January 23rd is a group. You may want to try to keep up with the group. Otherwise, I don't know what the point is of joining with the group, but that's up to you. So you have the option to stay with your group. Okay, so you're getting a class every week. But we are also evergreen. So you can go at your own pace. You can just purchase a class when you're ready. You can turn in your homework assignment when you're ready. And that's it. When you're ready to do the exercises, for example, like work with the guinea pigs, the volunteers from the public, we'll get you set up with teachers who are going to be sitting in with you and stuff like that at your own pace. We have any other questions coming in? Okay, we are at time. Excellent. So I will see you guys. We're going to log off. We're going to log back in here at 8:30 for my biweekly Ask Ivy show, where I take your personal questions and I deliver out messages from Spirit. Hope to see you. PsychicMediumshipCourse.com. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. Thank you, Mary.